Thanks, Anthea. Good morning, everyone. So I want to talk about sort of three aspects of Born Digital challenges. So we've got selection, description cataloging, and the trust and authenticity side, as Anthea said. So with selection, we're currently in the National Archives accessioning materials from about late 1990s. We've got a 20-year rule. And it's becoming a bottleneck. Government departments are struggling to make sense of what they've got. If you think back to the 1990s, we probably didn't organise our digital files as well as we do now. This is a big problem. So we ran a project which we called AI for Selection to look at commercial products which specifically use machine learning. We've looked at other approaches for sensitivity in the past, which Anthea knows very well. But we wanted to look at what machine learning is being used in products now. So we looked at a range of products, from kind of records management products with machine learning built into them through to sort of straight AI platforms. And we used a TNA data set, and we used our own records, which are probably the tidiest records in government. So it was sort of an unfair test in a way. But we learned a lot of lessons. I think the machine learning will sort of take care of itself over time. But the things we kind of really came out of it were that there's a real balance between building tools which are usable by a records manager and can help their day-to-day processes, and the machine learning side of being able to actually optimize the pipeline and get good results. It came across very strongly that this is still a data science problem. Even tools which were aimed at a records manager, they still had a team of data scientists working on the data. We need to build skills. There's tools for creating data sets, training data sets are needed, but also the skills. Records managers need to understand things like bias. They need to be able to understand how to create representative data sets. All that kind of thing. So there's a real strong, and we've been doing some of that internally with our own machine learning club that we called it. And the final thought was, well, what is that? We got results. We got 80% accurate or something like that. But what's the human benchmark? What do we actually expect? What do humans currently achieve in this task? Then description cataloging, which sort of helps, will actually help some of the selection, how we might approach selection as well, is about, well, Born Digital documents tend to have poor record descriptions, but we have the full text, so we could do search. But you end up with this kind of highly unbalanced archive where you've got 1,000 years worth of short descriptions, and the last 10 years we've got full text search, and they don't really fit in with the catalogue. They're difficult to find in the catalogue. So we've been experimenting a little bit with ways of generating automated descriptions, using either very simple things like just sort of text mining approaches to identify keywords in documents, through to more complex machine learning document summarization. And some of those, as I say, if you can summarize your collection, then you can maybe use it for selection as well. And then the final thing is on trust. We ran a blockchain project called Archangel, and I don't really want to talk about blockchain, but there was an AI element which was around what we call content hashing for video and images, where you will, if you think of when we present, say, a video, we wouldn't present a full 4K video and let people download that. We might reformat it to a smaller format for people to be able to download online. And content hashing uses deep learning to basically create a hash which, if you change the format, the hash stays roughly the same, not identical. But if you change the content itself, if you mess with the image or the video, then you get a vastly different content hash, which is similar to how you'd expect cryptographic hashing to work. And then the final thing on trust is, and I think some of this maybe touched on yesterday, was the idea, well, if we make our archive available for computation as a large data set, well, we've kind of lost control of that, of our archive. And there's huge practical problems. I've been working with the web archive, and I wouldn't want to share that with anyone just for because of the sheer size of the thing. So I'm quite interested in the ideas of non-consumptive research, which the Hathi Trust have a kind of model for that, where you take you take your algorithms to the data rather than taking the data to the algorithms. And then some of the other ideas came out yesterday around privacy preserving machine learning and differential privacy, which I think are quite interesting.
Excellent. Thank you
Yeah,
so much, Mark.
that's it.
That was brilliant. It's really great sort of speed through what all the great work that TNA is doing.